Om, 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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Harihi Om. My humble pranams to all Atma Jyotis, divine light of the self. I welcome all of you to today's session of Bhagavad Gita. I am not a Pandita, I am not a Jnani, I am not a Guru. I am just a seeker, a sadhaka. I am conducting this study hour as a means for my learning. If I make any mistakes, please forgive me. We started on a journey to study Bhagavad Gita, Gudardha Deepika by Sri Madhusudana Saraswati, translated by Sri Gambhirananda of Ramakrishna Matam. Before starting the text, we are just going through the summary of Bhagavad Gita, each chapter, so that we have a comprehensive view of Bhagavad Gita before studying Gudardha Deepika. As part of that, we have seen the summary of 10 chapters. Today, we will be seeing the summary of 11th chapter. Let me share my screen. Chapter 11, Vishwarupa Darshana. I hope you are able to see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Chapter 11, Vishwarupa Darshana. In this chapter, Arjuna asks Sri Krishna to show the Vishwarupa, the divine cosmic form. And Krishna shows the divine cosmic form, universal form to Arjuna. So you must have seen in many movies, it is shown as many heads, eyes, hands, divine weapons and all. So what this is, actually we'll see. Vishwarupa Darshana, universal cosmic form of the Lord. The individual form of the Lord is you. As explained in chapter 1 to 6, you are the individual form of the Lord. What is the universal form of the Lord? Let us understand in chapter 11. In subsections 11.1 to 11.8, Arjuna requests the Lord to show the universal form. 11.9 to 11.14, Sanjaya, who is narrating Bhagavad Gita to Dhritarashtra, he describes the universal form of Lord. 11.15 to 11.22, Arjuna is wonderstruck by the divine form. His wonder is explained in that. 11.23 to 11.34, Arjuna is terrified by the divine form. 11.35 to 11.45, Arjuna describes the Lord's form with devotion. 11.46 to 11.55, glorification of devotion and withdrawal of universal form. This is how chapter 11 is. So Arjuna requests the Lord, and Lord blesses with Vishwarupa Darshana. This is 11.1 to 11.8. So Krishna says, "O Arjuna, physical eyes cannot see my divine form. So I give you divine eyes." That means with a clear intellect, you can understand God. That is how you have to understand. The Vishwarupa is seen by Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, Sakini. They consider it as a magic show. Only Arjuna, who has a clarity of intellect and purity of heart, considers it as Vishwarupa. We all see Vishwarupa of the Lord all the time. What we see is Vishwarupa only. In Vishnu Sahasranama, the first line itself says, Vishwam Vishnur Vashatkaro. Vishwam, what you see the Vishwam is Vishnu only. The Vishwam means the universe. What you see the universe is the Virat form of the Lord. How is what you are seeing, how is it Lord? See, you are seeing differences. You are seeing the differences. Chair is different from table. Fan is different from wall. What is different? The name and form of the fan is different from the name and form. See, name and form and use of fan is different from name and form and use of the table. But it's all, fan is also existence and table is also existence. So if you look at it that way, let us say there is a huge ocean. There are many waves, big wave, small wave. Big wave is also water, small wave is also water. Similarly, in the ocean of consciousness, which is Krishna, fan is a wave. Wave appearance, it appears as fan. It is made up of Krishna only. It is made up of consciousness only. Table is also another wave. It's an appearance. Therefore, whatever you are seeing in the universe is different names, forms, and usages. But essentially, they are all one and the same. It doesn't mean that fan will stop rotating and become stable. Not like that. Fan will continue to be fan. It will rotate and give air. Table will continue to be table, and you can put things on the table. The name, form, and usage are different, but the essential nature that of existence is same for fan and the table. I hope I made it clear. Therefore, if you go to a jewelry shop, you see a ring, you see a necklace, you see a bangle. But the jewelry shop owner sees only gold. You buy a ring, you buy a necklace, you buy a bangle. But the jewelry shop owner will weigh them and puts a bill by the price of the gold rather than price of the ring, necklace and bangle. For him or her, gold is the reality. For you, ring, necklace and bangle is the reality. Similarly, in this world, if you see the name, form and usage are different, that is the reality for you. But in essence, what they are made up of is the same substance, existence, isness, that is Brahman. That is the gold in all ornaments, water in all waves, mud in all pots. Now, with this perspective, you see the world, you see God everywhere. That is the Divya Chakshu that Krishna is talking about. Divya Chakshu means eye of wisdom, eye of light. What is the eye of light? This understanding that name, form, and usage are different, but essential substance is same. Hands should be used for selfless service. Heart should be pure. This is our brain has two hemispheres, left brain and right brain. Left brain and right brain. Right brain is creative brain, artistic brain. Left brain is logical brain, thinking brain, analytical brain. So you should use both right brain and left brain. For right brain, you have to use bhakti. For left brain, you have to use jnana. So, in case of an optical illusion, you see a mirage in the desert. It's an optical illusion. So physical eye looks at it differently than what it appears. Similarly, Maya is something. For an Ajnani, objects appear different from each other. He sees differences. I am different from you. You are different from other person. That object is different from this object. That perception is for an Ajnani, ignorant person. For a Jnani, everything is Brahman only, is God only. So for a jnani, world doesn't appear. Not in the sense that he doesn't see the objects. He sees the same fan and table as you. But the way he interprets that will be, this is Brahman, this is me, my own self, Atman is Brahman. Everything is Brahman. That is a Jnani's vision. Whereas an Ajnani, an ignorant person, sees differences. He sees the table as different from fan, different from sofa, like that. So a Jnani's vision, which sees everything as God, is the Vishwarupa Darshana, universal, cosmic, divine form. This is how you have to understand Vishwarupa Darshana, not like what they show in movies. 11.9 to 11.14, Sanjaya's description of universal form of Lord. Sanjaya, the very name, means one who is victorious over mind. He is able to see and understand the Vishwarupa of Lord. He is a wise person. Whereas Dhritarashtra, not only he is physically blind, he is spiritually blind also. He is unable to see and understand what Krishna is pointing out. The Vishwarupa is not able to see, not able to understand. For anything to understand, there is something called, if the scripture says something, there are different levels of meaning to the word. Same word. There is something called Rudhartha. Rudha Artha. Literal meaning. There is something called Gudha Artha. Secret meaning. Hidden spiritual meaning. We should not take Rudhartha. We have to take Gudhartha. For example, in the Rudhartha, Sanjaya describes the universal cosmic form as unlimited faces, eyes, celestial jewels, divine weapons, many garlands, heavenly weapons, faces everywhere, blazing more than 1,000 suns blazing together. This is what Sanjaya explains. Gudhartha, how you have to understand is, when you say celestial jewels or ornaments, you have to see the millions of galaxies, bright stars, sun and the moon. When he says garland, you have to see the galaxies and the Milky Way. When he says Ananta, infinite body, you have to see the vast expanse of the space, sky and the clouds. When Sanjaya says heavenly fragrance, you have to take it as the smell of the earth and smell of flowers, etc. Sanjaya is explaining subjective experience in objective terms in a language that a spiritually blind Ajnani can understand. You should not take the Rudhartha of these words like unlimited faces, eyes, celestial jewels. That is not how you should understand these words. For example, of what is a Rudhartha and what is a Gudhartha. Rudhartha is a literal meaning. Gudhartha is hidden spiritual meaning. For example, in case of an objective explanation, Puranas say Shiva lives in Himalayas. Shiva wears a snake in the neck as ornament. This is the Rudhartha, literal meaning. If you take the Rudhartha, literal meaning, you will start looking for a funny looking person who wears snakes in his neck. If you look at Gudhartha, hidden spiritual meaning, Himalayas represent peak of consciousness. Any person who has evolved spiritually to a high degree is Shiva himself. That way, that person has climbed the Himalaya, peak of consciousness. This way, we have to understand the Gudhartha rather than the Rudhartha. Arjuna 11.15 to 11.22, Arjuna is wonderstruck by the divine form. Arjuna is wonderstruck when he is seeing the creation aspect of it and sustenance aspect of the Lord. Brahma and Vishnu aspect of the creation. Arjuna is explaining his subjective experience of the creation in objective terms. So don't get misled by reading these objective terms as a Rudhartha, literal meaning. You have to take the Gudhartha. For example, 1. In the language of love and poetry, it is said, her face is like moon, her teeth are like pearls, her eyes are like lotus. Does this mean that her face is like moon, her teeth are like pearls, her eyes are like lotus flower? Does that mean that? No, that is Rudhartha. One has to understand the Gudhartha, which is the underlying feeling and emotion of love should be understood without taking the literal meaning. Example number 2. Ganesha has a big belly and laughing Buddha has a big belly. Does that mean that there is a person called Ganesha with a big belly? It is a symbolic representation of a person who is full, Purna, Ananda, complete. It's a symbolic representation, symbolically telling the Gudhartha, hidden spiritual meaning is that the person is fulfilled, Purna Ananda. So, to understand something, go beyond Rudhartha and understand the Gudhartha. 11.23 to 11.34, Arjuna is terrified by the universal form. In the universal form of the Lord, creation, sustenance, and destruction is included. Arjuna is terrified when he sees the destructive aspect of the creation. For example, there is tsunami, typhoons, earthquakes, volcanoes, destruction in the world. That is terrifying. But one has to understand that the existence, the universe has all included: creation, sustenance, and destruction. One has to take everything as form of Lord only. Lord Krishna explains, I am the destroyer. Without destruction, new thing is not possible. Therefore, we have to accept Lord as the creator, sustainer, and destroyer. (11.35 to 11.45) Arjuna describes the Lord's form filled with devotion. Arjuna understands Bhagavan and he is filled with devotion. Then Arjuna says, O Krishna, show me your previous form. One which is the Vasudeva form, which is the Vasudeva Krishna form. Then Lord withdraws the universal form and appears as his old friend. And Krishna says, O Arjuna, because of your devotion, you are able to see the universal form, even though you are not yet ready for Atma Jnana. Therefore, continue your sadhana through Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Kriya Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. We have right brain and left brain. Right brain is creative and artistic. Left brain is logical and analytical. Vedanta appeals to the left brain. Bhakti appeals to the right brain. One has to develop, culture both the right brain and the left brain. Bhakti has to be there, jnana has to be there. But bhakti should not be Muda Bhakti. You should not be attached to form, etc. You should have jnana to understand the nature of God. From that jnana, your bhakti should proceed. Bhakti is nothing but love towards the entire universe. You cannot show bhakti to some form, to some imaginary God. In Vedanta, God is non-different from the universe. The way you show bhakti to God is by loving the creation, by the universe, as our own self and helping people because they are our own self. That is bhakti. And jnana. Both are same actually. You need both. With this, we conclude chapter 11, Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga. Any questions or observations or feedback? Feel free to let me know. If there are no
So,
questions, let us close
yeah,
for the day.
actually one doubt, sir, actually.
Yes, tell me.
Like you told us, like we need to show affection to all the human beings where we are with ourselves only. Uh, but in this world, like people's behavior and some people will that is they will what to tell if they want whatever whenever they wanted they will speak to some people and then there'll be so much on towards their work oriented there will be no truthfulness or loyalty in that relationship in that case like then what to do sir?
See, everything is God. Okay?
Mm,
They are also representations of God. But,
okay
okay,
uh,
you don't have ill feeling or hatred towards them. Okay?
okay mm,
But you can protect yourself at a transactional level. See,
okay
if a person is having negative qualities, that doesn't mean that he is not God. Okay?
mm,
Everything is God only. In God, there is creation, sustenance, and destruction. Tsunami is also God's form only, even though tsunami kills many people. Okay?
okay
What you have to do is you have to live your life, take care of your interest, protect yourself. If that person is harming you, you can protect yourself, you can defend yourself.
okay
But at the same time, you should have no ill will towards that person because that person is also God only. He is not different from God. It
okay
is like this. In the drama, there is a hero, there is a villain.
yeah
Hero will thrash the villain, but the person who is playing the role of hero, does he have ill will and hatred towards the person who is playing the role of villain?
he will not have but he will protect or as he told he will
Ah,
defend
he will fight with the villain.
correct
He will play the role. He will fight with the villain. He will defeat the villain, but he will not have hatred towards the villain.
okay sir
Understood?
yes sir okay sir thank you sir
Asato ma satgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrutyorma amrutam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.
thank you sir
Okay. Thank you. Bye.